Chapter 16. The day before the wedding, there is a flurry of excitement throughout the house. Everyone is busy preparing for the big day. While I help the women do the baking for the wedding breakfast, the men wash and wax the cars and take care of the children. Everything seems to be going smoothly. Occasionally, Ingo seeks me out and we disappear for a few moments alone. Each time we return, we are kidded by everyone about not being able to survive for 5 minutes without seeing each other. I'm completely all right with that, and I am sure Ingo is too. Jessica throws a surprise bridal shower for me. She planned it a couple of weeks ago and managed to keep it secret. I am overwhelmed by the love and kindness of these women attending. I receive so many beautiful things. It is like Christmas, or at least how I imagine Christmas is for some people. Smiling shyly, I consider how a few of the gifts will please Ingo more than others. I thank everyone for their thoughtfulness. After the shower, Jessica helps me take all the presents up to my room. We pile them in the corner until I can put them away. Ingo and I have decided to use my room as our permanent bedroom, and now most of his personal belongings are in the corner with mine, in the closet with mine, as well as on the dresser. I briefly look around the room and imagine sharing it with him. My eyes move to the bed and my face warms. $1 for your thoughts, Jessica says, a knowing smile curving her lips. Though she is never married, I'm sure she isn't ignorant to things pertaining to the wedding night. Is it that obvious? It is quite obvious, my dear, and I'm sure it's perfectly normal. Sighing, I sit on the bed. I know it was never right in the past, but this is different, very different. I've never longed to share this kind of closeness with anyone. I silently mull over that fact for a moment. It was never love before. It was always induced by drugs and alcohol, and it was dirty and cheap. Jessica sits next to me. But not this time. No, I say, not this time. You deserve the best life has to offer, Cicely, and Ingo is definitely one of the best men to ever walk the face of the earth. I know, I agree softly. I know. At midnight, Ingo softly knocks on my door and quietly opens it. He tiptoes over and kneels by my bed. Feeling his caress on my cheek, I smile. Were you awake, love? He whispers. Yes, I can't sleep either. I don't think I've been so excited or nervous in my life. Neither have I. I just had to see you. I'm glad you came. I hope no one saw you, though. I would hate to create a scandal the night before our wedding. Thanks to the moonlight shining through the curtains, I can clearly make out the wide grin splitting his face. He leans over and kisses me. I can't wait until you are totally mine, he whispers, and I can't wait to be yours. Kissing me a moment longer, he clears his throat abruptly before pulling away. I guess I'd better get back to my room before I really do cause a scandal. I chuckle. I guess you'd better. I love you, Cicely. I love you too, and I'm looking forward to beginning our life together. So am I, and it will be a wonderful life. I think that's the name of a movie. I think you're right. Look at me turning all cheesy all of a sudden. Don't tell anyone, okay? Your secret is safe with me. Kissing my brow, he finally stands. So, I guess I'll see you in about 7 hours. You mean 6 hours, 45 minutes, I correct him, smiling dreamily. Good night, love. Sleep well. You too. Chapter 17. The tears in Jessica's eyes mirror mine as we stand in the spacious dressing room of the church, gazing at my reflection in a large mirror. My beaded white gown is beautiful, and I feel radiant. I think you are, without a doubt, the most beautiful bride I have ever seen. Thank you. Fingering the lovely strand of pearls Jessica gave me yesterday, I continue to examine my reflection, and for the first time in my life, I really do feel beautiful. I can't believe I'm about to be married. Believe it, Jessica says, wiping a tear away. Oh, just look at me, starting with the waterworks already. I chuckle, wiping my own cheek. I'm so glad you're here with me. I can't think of anyone else I would rather have standing in my mother's place. Jessica's smile fades slightly. She pulls an envelope from her pocket, holding it out to me. This came for you yesterday. Taking the envelope, I read the front, raising my eyes in surprise. It's from my cousin Velma. I would have given it to you yesterday, but for some reason it slipped my mind until this morning. I think you were supposed to have it today. I open it. Along with a letter from Velma is a smaller envelope addressed to me. Stunned, I look up at Jessica. It's from my mother. Would you like me to leave and let you read it in private? No, please stay. Are you sure? Yes, you are my family, and I want to share this with you. It is hard for me to believe that I am actually holding a letter from my mother. I gaze at her handwriting on the front of the envelope. Mama always had beautiful handwriting. First, I read the letter from Velma. Dear Cicely, I just wanted to say how sorry I am for the way things were when you came back. Our family could never win a prize for niceness, but they were just plain cruel to you, and I am truly sorry for that. I admire the way you changed your life. You are such a good person, and I am trying to be just as brave. After you left, I made the decision to move out. I have been sharing an apartment for the past few weeks with 2 other roommates. It feels so good to be on my own. Thank you for setting the example for me to follow. Enclosed is a letter from your mother. I found it while I was helping Mama clean out her apartment and thought you should have it. I guess she never got the chance to mail it. Thank you again for the example you have set. Maybe one day I too might finally get away from this place. I will write you again soon. Take care, Velma. Blinking tears onto my cheeks, I refold the letter. How amazing is that? It is unbelievable that I have actually been a good example for someone, especially someone in my own family. My heart swells with joy at the thought of my cousin finally breaking free and choosing a new course for her life. I will keep in touch with her from now on. I have always thought you were pretty special, Jessica says. That's because you are completely biased. Of course I am, but it's still true. Refolding the letter, I take a deep breath and open the one from my mother and struggle to contain my emotions as I read her final words to me. Dearest Cicely, I know you're probably shocked to be receiving a letter from me, and I must admit that I don't blame you. I was never there for you when you needed me in the past. For that, I am truly sorry. I guess the first thing I should tell you, which I'm sure you already know, is that I am an alcoholic. Can you believe it? I'm finally admitting it. It has taken me far too long to realize this fact. I've been sober now for a month, which isn't long, but for me, it's a good start. It's been very hard to stay that way, but I'm not about to give in if I can help it. I'm only sorry it has taken me so long to get to this point. Cicely, more than anything, I just want to let you know how proud I am of you for getting away from here and making a better life for yourself. I know life has never been easy for you, and again, I'm sorry for my part in it. I wish I could change the past, but I can't. Anyway, I just wanted you to know these things. Have a good life, Cicely. You deserve all that's good in this old world that it has to offer. I only hope you can forgive me for the past and let me be a part of your life now. Thank you for being such a wonderful daughter, despite my poor parenting. I love you very much, Mama. Pressing a hand to my mouth, I futilely fight a growing sob. Wrapping her arms around me, Jessica cries with me. I cannot believe I have finally been given the peace I have prayed so hard for. To know my mother really did love me, that she really cared, and my life truly did matter to her is all I could have hoped for and more. And to read her final words on my wedding day, it is definitely the best wedding gift I could ever receive. Are you going to be all right? Jessica asked, pressing a hand to my cheek. I nod, still too emotional to speak. She dries my tears with a tissue. Well, you had better fix your makeup. I do look a sight, don't I? Studying my reflection, I dry my face. You always look beautiful no matter what. As for me, I don't have anyone to impress, but you do. Oh, I wouldn't be too sure. I've noticed Seth Walker checking you out lately. He's quite a catch, you know. Jessica laughs softly. I'm too old to go fishing now. I'm not even sure I have the bait anymore. I giggle, feeling giddy. You've still got it. If you don't believe me, just ask Seth. I just might do that. We do still have an afternoon of dancing ahead of us. I arch a brow and she laughs. We quickly touch up our makeup, finishing just as the Reverend's wife tells us it's time. The wedding ceremony is more wonderful than mere words can express. As Ingo takes my hand and we face one another, the reality of our union takes my breath away. We speak our vows, exchange rings, and are pronounced husband and wife. Ingo reverently places a hand on my cheek and I touch his in return. My happiness is indescribable. When we share our first kiss as husband and wife, there isn't a dry eye in the chapel. After endless hugs and picture taking, we head to the reception hall. As things get underway, I notice Ingo checking his watch every few minutes. I understand the reason perfectly. Smiling knowingly, my heart races at the thought of giving myself to him fully. Heat rushes to my cheeks as his eyes hold mine, making me again grateful for my brown skin. Taking my hand, he leads me out onto the floor for a dance, holding me close as we sway to the soft ballad. I love you, Mrs. Kelly, he whispers in my ear. And I love you, Mr. Kelly. And did I tell you I love my new name? You did. I love it too. When our dance ends, we join Jessica at the table. Where's Adagio? Ingo asks. He's out in the hall on the phone, Jessica says. One of the chefs from his restaurant called. Is everything all right? I ask. Oh, I don't think anything was wrong. She looks at us and smiles. You two are absolutely glowing. I squeeze Ingo's hand. It's because I'm so happy. He raises my hand to his lips. So am I. Yes, it's quite obvious. This is the first time I've ever seen my nephew grin for 2 consecutive hours without stopping. I think his face is stuck. We laugh. I think you're right, Ingo says, massaging his cheeks. He points a finger at his aunt. But just remember, this is all you're doing. I admit it. I wanted my 2 favorite people together. Is that so terrible? Taking in her exaggerated expression of innocence, he chuckles. It's not terrible at all. Scanning the room for a moment, he looks toward the hall. I think Adagio is hiding. He's had all the single women trying to attach themselves to him all morning. Poor Adagio, Jessica says with a chuckle. He hasn't had a moment's peace since he got here. Did I hear my name? Adagio says, sitting down, looking at us expectantly. I release an unladylike snort, and Ingo and Jessica snicker. What? He asks, looking at us. Oh, nothing, Jessica says, patting his face in a motherly gesture. Ingo was just talking about how much your animal magnetism is driving the single women wild and obliterating their self-control. Uh-huh. What is that American phrase you use? Oh, yeah. Whatever. Ingo chuckles, patting his shoulder. The music soon changes and an upbeat Motown tune by Gladys Knight and the Pips fills the hall. It is one of my favorite songs and I automatically start snapping my fingers and moving to the beat. Adagio is also snapping and grins at me. I guess he knows the song as well. Ingo, I'm going to take your wife for a spin on the dance floor, okay? Sure, but I think it will be the other way around. Ingo grins, winking at me. Cicely, honey, try not to school the old man too much. Let him keep up a little. Who are you calling old? I'm only a couple of years older than you. And in my book, that's old. Cutting his eyes to his aunt, he smiles contritely. No offense, Aunt Jessica. She laughs. None taken, my boy. Adagio shakes his head. I have danced a little, you know. Listening to their banter back and forth, I realize the saying, boys will be boys, fits them perfectly. Ingo gives him a humoring nod to go ahead, and Adagio rolls his eyes. Come on, Mrs. Kelly, he says, taking my hand. Let's teach this husband of yours a lesson. Chuckling, I let him lead me out onto the floor. Hey, he really is pretty good, Ingo says. I must say I agree, Jessica says as Adagio and Cicely dance circles around everyone on the floor. And how in the world does she move like that in that dress? I don't know, she's pretty amazing. Jessica shakes her head, smiling. She squeezes Ingo's hand. Do you have any idea how much you have changed her life? Probably as much as she's changed mine. Sighing deeply, he gazes out at Cicely for a moment. I am the luckiest man in the world to have her, Aunt Jessica, and seeing her change has been amazing. But you have watched those changes too. Indeed, I have. When we first met, she was a beautiful lost soul. He swallows, emotion welling inside him. Being able to love her and help her to understand her worth has been the most meaningful experience of my life, and to actually have her as my wife, it just blows me away. I'm sure she feels the same. How could she not? He kisses Jessica's cheek. Thank you for inviting me to come and stay with you. You're very welcome. As the song ends and we stop to catch our breath, Adagio squeezes my hand. You are a special lady, Cicely, and I am glad you and Ingo found each other. You two deserve all the happiness in the world. Thank you. He hugs me, adding, Thank you for letting me share this special day with you. I'm happy you were able to be here. You just promised to stay in touch. After all, you're family to me now. He smiles, hugging me again. I promise. Ingo and I catch a flight to Long Beach, California, then board a Mexican cruise ship. I have always dreamed of going on a cruise, but never thought I would. Our wedding night is magical. I never knew the act of making love could be so emotionally consuming. Sharing that kind of intimacy is a powerful thing, one that I will never take for granted. And as Ingo holds me in his arms afterward, I marvel at the feeling of oneness between us. We savor every moment of our honeymoon, spending our days going ashore in Catalina and Ensenada, shopping for souvenirs for family and friends. On sea day, I treat myself to an afternoon in the ship's spa and enjoy being pampered. We dine a couple of nights in the formal restaurant on board the ship, but most of the time we order in room service and treasure our time together. When we finally return, Jessica greets us with a delicious welcome home dinner. We tell her about our trip and show her our photos. After dinner, we unpack and give Jessica the gifts we had purchased for her. I make a mental note to send Adagio's gifts off to him the following day. He will definitely find the ones Ingo picked for him amusing. The last few months have been the best of my life, and I know this is only the beginning. I am truly happy. I cannot imagine things ever being any different. Chapter 18. The months have passed quickly, and Thanksgiving is fast approaching. I cannot remember ever being more grateful at this time of year. Marriage to Ingo has been amazing, and as Jessica fondly says, we are as happy as clams. Since we have no money worries, a fact I still find hard to grasp sometime, I quit my job at the boutique. I am able to travel with Ingo to out-of-state photo shoots. There is nothing we enjoy more than being together. Awakening one particular morning, I peel my eyes open, encountering a bedroom full of sunlight, and I realize I have slept in a little later than normal. When I sit up, I am hit by a wave of nausea. Lying back against the pillows, I close my eyes and swallow hard, telling myself I cannot be sick now. Ingo and I have planned to take a trip down to southern Utah in 2 days, and I am really looking forward to it. I make another attempt to get up when the phone rings. Grateful for a reason to stay in bed for another moment, I answer it and smile when I hear Adagio's voice despite feeling sick. He is calling to say hello and catch up on what has been going on with us. We've only talked to him a couple of times since the wedding, and both conversations were brief because he has been so busy with the restaurant. So, how are things? I ask. Things are good, just trying to keep up with the increasing traffic and keep the guys in line. They're pretty crazy in there. It sounds like you're having fun. I am. They're great to work with. Well, I'm sure you're a pretty great boss. I again close my eyes and swallow against the queasiness. So, how's marriage treating you guys? Ah, sigh, we love it. He laughs. I can hear it in your voice. You two are great together. Now all you need is a little one to make it complete. Uncle Adagio has a nice ring to it, do you not agree? I agree completely, I say, chuckling, looking forward to being a mom. Wait, my period is late. As my hazy brain clears, I quickly calculate the days. I'm 2 weeks late, and I'm sick. My mind is reeling at the possibility. I've been so busy preparing for our trip and doing other things I hadn't noticed. Hey, Cicely, are you still there? I'm here, I answer, embarrassed to have let my thoughts drift so far. Are you all right? Yes, I'm okay. I'm better than okay. I should probably let you go, and I'd better get back over to the restaurant. It must be nice to work from home, so to speak. It is convenient, and I do enjoy it. I'm glad. Hey, I'll tell Ingo you called, but only if you promise to call him later. You know how much he looks forward to your calls. I know, he needs to hear my voice once in a while. It's the accent, I say, and he laughs. Promise you'll call him. I will. Ciao, Cicely. Ciao. Hanging up the phone, I stay in bed a little longer, waiting for my stomach to calm some. Deciding it is pointless, I drag myself out of bed and make my way to the kitchen. After searching the cupboards for crackers to no avail, I settle on a piece of toast and a glass of juice. Within a few minutes, I am a little better and am able to take a shower. Then I make a quick trip to the neighborhood pharmacy for a pregnancy test. I quickly take the test, grinning as I examine the positive result. I'm pregnant. Chapter 19. Even the slight nausea doesn't dampen my spirits as I wait for Ingo to return from an all-day photo shoot. I'm glad Jessica is at the boutique today. She is usually so observant she would have easily seen behind my smile and guessed my news before I could share it with Ingo. Ingo arrives home a little after 4 and I meet him at the door. I missed you, he says, pulling me close for a kiss. I missed you too. I'm glad you're home. Drawing back, I look into his eyes, feeling positively giddy. Either you're extra glad to see me or something good has happened, so which is it? Both. Both? Do I need to sit down before you tell me? Maybe. I smile at his arched brow. Okay. Taking my hand, he leads me into the living room, then promptly pulls me onto his lap. Okay, let's have it. Well, I just found out that someone I know is going to be a daddy. Really? Who? Pausing, he grins, then laughs. Really? Are you serious? I am. He hugs me. I can't believe it. I'm going to be a father. He caresses my cheek. You've made me so happy. Pressing his hand against my flat stomach, he draws me against him and kisses me slowly. Stirred by my breathless response, he quickly leads me up to our room, and there we stay until darkness falls. When we finally head back downstairs to get something to eat, Jessica is sitting at the table enjoying a cup of hot chocolate. Well, good evening, you two, she says with that knowing smile I recognized all too well. Dinner is in the fridge if you're hungry. I'm sorry about dinner, I say. It had been my turn to cook. I'm sorry too, Aunt Jessica. It was my fault she forgot. Of course he smiles when he says this. I slug him playfully, embarrassed. Jessica chuckles. It's okay, dear. You can take my turn tomorrow. I take a seat at the table while Ingo heats some dinner for us. Watching him pull several things from the fridge, I'm mused that I will soon be taking full advantage of the large meals Jessica always prepares. While the food is heating in the microwave, Ingo places his hands on my shoulders. Sweetheart, we should tell Aunt Jessica the good news. What good news? Jessica asks, her eyes bright. I don't know, I tease. Are you sure we should tell her? Maybe we shouldn't just yet. Tell me what? You know, Ingo says, just forget we said anything. Ingo and Cicely Kelly, if you don't stop messing around and tell me this instant, or I'll. Okay, I give in, laughing. We're going to have a baby. Really? She squeals. Oh my goodness, how wonderful. Congratulations. Thank you, Ingo says. We're pretty excited. Jessica claps her hands jubilantly. Your parents are going to be so thrilled to hear this. I think thrilled is an understatement, unless one of my brother's wives has made an announcement recently this will be their first grandchild. I think I'll call them tomorrow. I'm sure they will let everyone else know pretty quickly. Oh, and you should call Adagio back and tell him he's going to be an uncle, I add. He called this morning and mentioned that Uncle Adagio had a nice ring to it before I even realized I was pregnant. That's Adagio for you. I'll call him in the morning, too. Adagio whoops loudly when we tell him the news. Congratulations, I'm so happy for you. Thank you, Ingo says. We're pretty excited. We will be officially calling you Uncle Adagio soon, I say on the other extension. And I will be ready for it. As a matter of fact, I think I'll plan another visit soon. We would love that, Ingo assures him. You know you're welcome any time. I know. We'll let you know the date as soon as we find out, I say. I will be waiting to hear. I've been told there's nothing as wonderful as bringing a child into the world, and Ingo, my friend, I know you will be a great father. Cicely, you being a good mother is a given. Thanks, Adagio, that means a lot. I only speak the truth. Well, you just get ready for your uncle duties, Ingo tells him. I am looking forward to it. After talking a few more minutes, we give him our love and say goodbye. Taking me in his arms, Ingo holds me close, kissing my brow. I'm sorry about having to postpone the trip, Ingo. Don't be sorry, love. We can go another time. Besides, it wouldn't do for you to be sick all the way down. This is true, I agree. I guess we should call my parents now, only I'm sure we'll be on the phone a lot longer. You're probably right. I know how much his parents enjoy talking to us. They will be so excited to hear about the baby. We will indeed be on the phone for a while.